Welcome back, everyone. Today we delve into the depths of fear with 3 spine-chilling true stories that took place in basements. These tales are not for the faint of heart, so if you're easily spooked, you might want to turn back now. Basements. Those cold, dark spaces beneath our feet, often filled with forgotten relics and shrouded in shadow. They are places of mystery, and sometimes those mysteries can be terrifying. In these stories, we'll explore the unsettling side of basements, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, and where the darkness itself seems to whisper secrets of dread. So brace yourselves, because things are about to get truly terrifying. The Campbell family, excited to start a new chapter in their lives, purchased a charming old Victorian house at a surprisingly affordable price. They dismissed the low cost, attributing it to the need for cosmetic updates. Little did they know, a far more sinister reason lurked beneath the surface, hidden within the dark, damp cellar of their dream home. From the moment they moved in, a palpable chill permeated the air, especially near the cellar door. At night, strange noises echoed from below, faint whispers, disembodied footsteps, the scraping of furniture across the floor above their heads. The family patriarch, John, initially dismissed these occurrences as an overactive imagination, the creaks and groans of an old house settling. His wife Sarah, however, couldn't shake the feeling of unease that intensified with each passing day. One evening, as Sarah descended the creaking cellar stairs, a cold, unseen hand brushed against her cheek. Terror gripping her heart, she stumbled back, dropping the basket of laundry she carried. As she turned to flee, she caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure vanish around the corner, melting into the darkness. Terrified but determined to uncover the truth, Sarah confided in her eldest daughter Emily, who had also experienced unsettling events. Together they delved into the history of the house, uncovering a tragic story. Decades earlier, the home belonged to a widowed sea captain who, driven to madness by grief after the loss of his wife at sea, took his own life in the very cellar that now filled the Campbells with dread. Armed with this chilling knowledge, Sarah and Emily sought help from a local paranormal investigator, a woman known only as Miss Eleanor. Miss Eleanor, with her calm demeanor and piercing gaze, possessed an uncanny ability to communicate with the other side. As Miss Eleanor descended into the cellar, the air grew heavy, charged with a palpable energy. She spoke in hushed tones, addressing the unseen presence, seeking to understand its torment. The entity, identifying itself as Captain Elias Thorne, revealed his anguish, trapped in the home he once shared with his beloved wife. He yearned for peace, for release from his earthly bonds. Miss Eleanor, with empathy and compassion, helped Captain Thorne find solace, guiding his spirit towards the light. As the last vestiges of his torment dissipated, the cellar transformed, the oppressive atmosphere lifting, replaced by a sense of peace. With Captain Thorne's spirit finally at rest, the Campbell family could breathe easily in their home. The strange noises ceased, the icy chills vanished, and the basement, once a source of terror, became a testament to the power of empathy and understanding even beyond the veil of death. Mark, a history enthusiast with a passion for uncovering the past, had just purchased a fixer-upper, a quaint 2-story home with a sprawling basement. Eager to delve into the house's history, he began renovations, starting with the basement. As he peeled back layers of old wallpaper and dislodged rotten floorboards, he stumbled upon a chilling discovery that would transform his quaint renovation project into a horrifying encounter with a dark past. Behind a section of drywall, concealed for decades, lay a hidden room, its entrance masked by the passage of time and deliberate concealment. A shiver ran down Mark's spine as he pried open the door, a musty, stagnant odor wafting from within. The room, small and windowless, was sparsely furnished, containing only a dusty wooden chair, a rickety table, and an old oil lamp casting flickering shadows across the dirt floor. But it was the items scattered on the table that made Mark's blood run cold. A faded leather-bound journal lay open, its pages filled with frantic, barely legible handwriting. Beside it sat a collection of rusted tools, a hammer, pliers, a saw, their once shiny surfaces now stained with what appeared to be dried blood. As Mark cautiously flipped through the journal's brittle pages, his heart pounded in his chest. The entries, written in a shaky hand, chronicled the descent of a man named Silas into madness. Silas, a recluse who had lived in the house a century earlier, believed he was being tormented by unseen forces, driven to paranoia and despair. The journal entries detailed Silas's growing obsession with a local woman, a woman he believed held the key to his salvation. He wrote of following her, watching her, his words dripping with obsession and a chilling premonition of violence. The final entry, scrawled in a frenzy, ended abruptly, leaving Mark with a sickening feeling in the pit of his stomach. It was clear that Silas had finally acted on his twisted impulses, but the fate of the woman remained a horrifying mystery. Haunted by the journal's chilling contents, Mark contacted the local historical society, sharing his unsettling discovery. The society, intrigued and horrified, confirmed the existence of Silas and the missing woman, her disappearance an unsolved mystery that had haunted the town for generations. Armed with ground-penetrating radar, investigators scanned the basement floor, searching for any sign of the missing woman. Their efforts were rewarded with a chilling discovery, a large rectangular anomaly beneath the dirt floor. With grim determination, the investigators carefully excavated the area, unearthing a shallow grave. Inside lay the skeletal remains of a young woman, her bones still bearing the marks of Silas's gruesome handiwork. Mark's renovation had inadvertently uncovered a dark chapter in the house's history, exposing the chilling truth of Silas's madness and bringing closure to a century-old cold case. The hidden room, once a sanctuary for a madman's delusions, now served as a somber reminder of the darkness that can fester behind closed doors, a chilling testament to the enduring power of the past. In the quiet suburbs, where manicured lawns and cheerful facades painted a picture of idyllic life, a sinister secret festered beneath the surface. In the basement of an unassuming ranch house, a young woman named Anna endured a nightmare that stretched on for years, her cries for help silenced by concrete walls and the cruelty of her captor. Anna's ordeal began innocently enough. She had been walking home from her evening shift at a local diner when a nondescript van pulled up beside her. A man, his face obscured by the shadows of the vehicle, offered her a ride, claiming he recognized her from the diner. Naive and trusting, Anna accepted, unaware that her simple decision would lead her into a terrifying abyss. Instead of taking her home, the man, a cunning predator named Robert, drove to his secluded house, his true intentions masked by a veneer of normalcy. Robert led Anna into the basement, a damp, dimly lit space filled with tools and old furniture. As Anna's eyes adjusted to the darkness, she realized with growing horror that the door had been bolted shut from the outside, trapping her within the cold, unforgiving concrete walls. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Anna's world shrank to the confines of her subterranean prison. Robert, driven by a twisted sense of control and fueled by a perverse desire to possess and dominate, kept her captive, a prisoner of his own making. He would bring her food at irregular intervals, his visits punctuated by threats and acts of both physical and psychological torture. He controlled every aspect of her existence, from the clothes she wore to the words she spoke, seeking to break her spirit and mold her into a submissive object of his twisted desires. But Anna, despite the horrors she endured, refused to let the darkness extinguish her hope. She clung to the memory of her family, her friends, the life that had been stolen from her. She drew strength from the faintest glimmer of light that penetrated her subterranean prison, a tiny window high on the wall, just out of reach. One day, during one of Robert's infrequent absences, Anna noticed a loose brick in the wall near the window. With newfound determination, she chipped away at the mortar, her fingers raw and bleeding, her mind consumed by the possibility of escape. After weeks of painstaking effort, she created a small opening, just large enough to squeeze through. With a racing heart and a prayer on her lips, she squeezed through the narrow opening, emerging into the blinding light of day for the first time in years. Freedom, once a distant dream, now stretched before her, tangible and real. She ran, her bare feet pounding the pavement, her lungs burning with exertion, until she reached a nearby house and contacted the authorities. The police, alerted to Robert's crimes, descended upon the house, finding him still inside, his reign of terror finally at an end. Anna's escape, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human will, sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the illusion of normalcy and exposing the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most ordinary lives. If you enjoyed these terrifying tales, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more true horror stories. Stay safe, and remember, sometimes the scariest things are right beneath your feet. Basements, with their cold, damp darkness and air of forgotten things, will always hold a certain unsettling power. They remind us that even in the safety of our homes there are places where shadows linger, and where the past can sometimes reach out to touch us. So the next time you find yourself near a basement door, remember these stories and listen closely. You never know what whispers you might hear echoing from the darkness below.